Call the Port Commission meeting to order. Remind everyone that the meeting is being recorded. So if you ask the chair to be recognized to speak, make sure you mention who you are. Not all of us have distinctive voices like this. Oh. That's called to order. Roll call. Vice Chair Thompson.
Here.
Commissioner Lashecki.
Present.
Commissioner Robbins.
Here.
Commissioner Rotan.
Here.
Commissioner Betts.
Here.
Commissioner Kessler.
Here.
I will note we have two vacant seats. Seat 1 and seat 3 are vacant. However, we still have a quorum.
Are they vacant or absent?
No, they're vacant. They have not been appointed.
Okay.
So Chris. And Coolidge. Re-upped. And, the other fellow.
Cheney.
Change. Oh, Dick.
Yeah.
Training.
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 I
Training.
don't know where that
He had a medical issue, I believe. So we do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
brings us to the Port Safety Minute. It's like a new face down there at the end of the table. Would you like to rise and introduce yourself and do the Safety Minute?
I introduce myself. My name is Shane Olu. I am the new Port Safety Coordinator. My goal is to support by ensuring we all get home safe, healthy, whole every day. I'm here to be proactive coach and not just rule enforcer. I look forward to work with everyone, working together to build a safe and strongest workplace. My door is always open for your input. A little bit about, safety topic or safety tip for the month of March. Keeping our workplace safe. Keeping our workplace or workforce safe is essential for all organizations. It's not only about firms' productivity or profitability. The health and wellness of our workforce should also be taken into consideration. Keeping the workforce safe requires provide regular role-specific special training and safe training, enforce use of proper personal protective equipment. The key protocols include securing cargo, preventing falls from heights, proper training, fostering a stop work culture for hazards. And remember, stay alert. Don't get hurt.
Always good advice. Paul from Shane, thank you. Yeah.
So Shane has been with us for about a week, and he comes to us from people.
Comes to us from where?
The people mover. He was the field supervisor at People Mover, which means
Enforcer.
Yeah.
so we're very excited.
Good to have you. Anybody have any issues with the agenda? Any edits or suggested changes to the agenda? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved, Commissioner Robbins.
Second, this is Stephanie.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the agenda stands. Thank you, Commissioners Robbins and Kessler. Meeting minutes from December 10th. Anybody have any suggested edits for those? It's really disappointing when I can't find any typos or grammatical issues, but they look good. Anybody Right down.
I read them this morning and I realized it should be disappointed.
Yeah, me too.
Well, we just don't have Steve to kick around.
Move to approve.
Okay. Hayes,
Any opposed? Hearing none. The meeting minutes from the December 10th meeting are approved. And that takes us to court director comments. Will he be calling in or are you gonna take?
No, I'm gonna take it. He is actually in the air as we speak, so we can call in. Terry is down in Juneau today, talking to the Senate Resources Committee. He basically wanted to apologize for not being here, tell you that the court remains focused on remaining safe, efficient, and keeping reliable operations at all the terminals, especially during the summer construction season that we'll be talking about a little bit longer. He's also spent quite a bit of time recently in Juneau and in Washington, DC, chasing money. So you'll hear more about that also.
Is that it?
that's it.
We've been so sick. Okay. Well, that's good. We can move on to the staff report. Operations and maintenance, Ronnie Poole.
All right. Ronnie Poole again, continued winter operations, and that's going to be going for a while. And I'm glad that we're doing it safely. You know, even with all the cold temperatures and lots of snow removal and lots of snow storage. We're excited about working with contractors and users. This upcoming construction season, laydown areas, operations, especially on ship days. So I'm glad Hans and Sarah are here to talk about some of that. Continued work by the port and contractors at PCT and POL2, and I'm not going to step in all in the Bills area there. Upcoming, well, earlier this year, military mission was successful in January. I believe the next one is going to be in May. And we're working with Billy at Tote for a temporary helicopter pad or helicopter ops for the military. So for the next 1 or 2 missions, May and probably June and maybe even August, we'll be landing the helicopters and taking off at the end of D yard until the helicopter pad gets established in the north extension area. To add to all that, we got 7 cruise ships that the city of Anchorage really wants. So we got 7 cruise ships this spring, starting on May the 8th. And most of those cruise ships are overnighters. And so we're going to work with Tote. We're going to have a new route for the buses this year because our building is gone and the construction laydown area will be there. So we're going to work on having the cruise ships and whatever military vessels we have coming in at T3. Again, we'll coordinate with Matson and Tote. So hopefully April will start the spring cleanup. You know, hope we don't have to go into May, but we're looking forward to Cheryl's groundhog from Pennsylvania. What's his name?
Punxsutawney.
Yeah, that little guy gave us 6 more weeks, so we don't like him. So
Never wrong.
looking forward to that. Shane introduced himself again, new hires. So we're fully staffed right now and continue to move forward. We'll welcome the safety coordinator onto the port. Shane brings a lot of passion, a lot of energy to the port. So we're glad to have these 40-year-olds coming in. And so as we're passing the baton, you know, with our, I call it blonde hair, but Cheryl called it gray hair. We're excited about passing the baton to these 40-year-olds so they can take it on down the road the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, just like we did. And then we'll have a position that we created that's going to help us with a lot of the work coming up, especially in cybersecurity, working with the contractors, badging, et cetera. We're going to have a ops security support position. And our new hire will be Brian Stanley. And you might know Brian, he's one of the security captains with DUS that has 17 years of experience down here on the port. So he'll be joining port staff starting March the 23rd. And so that's what I got.
As what?
Operations and security support.
A new position?
It's a brand new position that took us like 6 months to get created, to get done. And he'll be helping again with FSO, cybersecurity, all the different things that happen in the background that is very, very time consuming. We'll be able to have him to help us put together records and keep us again strong for the next people that's going to start in these positions. So again, we're very excited about having him join us.
Any questions for Ron? How's the PCT doing?
I don't want to take from him, but yeah, we're doing well. We had a vessel that was scheduled and they said, based on time, they're gonna go to POL 1 now. So we're gonna take that to continue our efforts out there. We had a checklist, Mr. Chairman, about 27 items that they wanted us to address. And I think Bill got them down now to about 5. So again, to me, when the last vessel came in December, to me, it was successful because again, all the product got from the vessel to where they were supposed to go to their destination. So we counted it as a win, and we got to look at it was minus 14 when that vessel came in. And so again, you hate for that to be your first vessel to come in, but this is Alaska. And I think that we were very successful with that, with everybody being cold and learning new equipment for the first time. I just think that the second one will be so much better when it comes in. So Bill, talk about some of that in his talk, sir.
So this will be the second vessel at the PCT.
Second
discharge.
The second petroleum, yes. So we got cement ships, they're continuing to come. So I believe the first cement ship gonna come in May. And also the next opportunity for the petroleum vessel to come in will be, like I said, 2 weeks after this week.
Well, it's perfect time to segue to Bill for engineering.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Heavy petroleum, as you mentioned, PCTs are our focus. Communications has been critical. We've been reaching out to the petroleum users bi-weekly as needed on special meetings. As operations said, we did have a list of 25 items delivered to us by the petroleum users. We've added 3 of our own items. Of those 28, I'll be happy to go through the full list and share it with you. The 2 primary concerns are the crane and the PCT camera. We've had over the past 5 weeks, 3 experts, the owner of North Pacific Crane, as well as Oldenauer Engineering and a expert on the KISB come look at our train. Bottom line is it works great at 2 degrees Fahrenheit and higher. At 14 degrees minus, it doesn't work correctly. Our theory as to why it doesn't is because there's not enough heaters in it.
Not enough what?
Heaters, heaters, we should have, you should put your hand on the hydraulic tank. It should be about 60 degrees. It's not, it's cold. We are coming up with a plan to increase those heaters. High confidence we can have that fully in place before the next cold season.
Manufacturer wasn't made aware of this before they installed it. They didn't know it was cold here.
I
know. You weren't here, so we can't blame you, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same question.
I mean,
Yeah, we ordered a fan, ordered something that was.
I would say the specification was not as good as it could have been.
can it be left running?
It can be, and it is. It's a 1500 watt heater.
Right.
And it's normally, we checked it, it's running about 96, 97% efficient. So it's on, but it's not strong enough. That's like 15 light bulbs versus the Alaska winter, and the Alaska winter is winning. So we're looking at more heaters. We can double that heater size in a 480 volt source and more than double it. We'll have that plan here shortly, and that will be in place and operational before the next cold season.
What was the other one? The second one?
PCT camera, one of the concerns of the crane operators is being able to see with their own eyes to put the man basket on the deck. And right now it's very difficult with the geometry. We have a project to put together to get that PCT camera. We ran into a little bit of a glitch today. We were hoping to use a state contrasting mechanism to get that camera. There's between the 2 parties, one party wants to put terms and conditions on the pre-negotiated contract and the other party doesn't want to accept that. So we're working through that challenge. It's an 8 to 10 week lead time to get the camera in place once we have that purchase order in place, and that's a focus of our attention.
Well, we wouldn't need a man basket if we have a gangway, right? Are we getting a gangway?
We have a gangway. We're learning how to use it correctly. And there's the challenge is finding a ship that's willing to work with us to make the modifications. One of the things we are doing to accommodate that is that right now the crane's weight capacity is 4,750 pounds. The gangway is about 6,600 pounds. When the manufacturer came out, we scoped out an improvement to make that crane lift capacity 9,000 pounds. So that's going to facilitate our gangway operations.
When did you say we're gonna get the next tanker at PCT, Ronnie?
It could be 2 weeks, because as far as with the camera.
Yeah.
The port has volunteered to pay for an extra pick. So like last time when the ship came in, we got an extra person with the eyes on the ground and radio to the person upstairs. Till the camera gets done. I never knew it was gonna take so long to get a camera, sir. So, but we
Yeah.
said, okay, let's get a person there. And, everybody's happy with that, so far.
Through the,
Yes,
Mr.
go
Chair.
ahead.
One comment I'd make on the camera, and this is just from personal experience, is those cameras do have low temperature specifications, just like the heater.
Right.
And I've been having issues with cameras going with stopping, on purpose stopping functioning at -2. So I would just put it the specifications, they need to operate like 30 or 40 below.
Commissioner Kessler, we'll confirm that. I have the tech specs down.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I'm sure you're going, oh, we're gonna check that, but I'm just saying,
No, it's
yeah.
always good to double check.
Yeah, been my experience. I'm going, what do you mean it doesn't work? You know,
Yeah, we've learned a lot of lessons about cranes and.
I'm still sitting over here. This is inappropriate, but I've sort of been going WTF over the heater. So, yeah. I mean, they knew it was going in Alaska. Climate change hasn't
we'll have
changed
to-
that much.
We'll have it fixed by then.
Yeah, no, I'm not blaming anybody for that. Other than maybe the crane people
Well,
should have known better.
how many engineers last, since
Well,
that was built?
That's gonna.
And it's
gonna be-
unfortunate because this should have been caught
Right,
during the initial design phase.
right. You
Yeah.
should have said, oh, the specifications, blah, blah, blah.
Now,
blah.
whenever we build a pilot boat, it has to operate in, from 90 Fahrenheit to -20 Fahrenheit.
Right.
That's a given. It's
Period.
written in.
Our new spec is -30, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're-
Yeah,
That's-
I would do that. Yeah.
It was what's going now.
Yeah, it's-
Anything else for Bill?
On PCT, related to the PCT, a lot of big changes operationally. We've been working with the petroleum users and taking a close look at the tariff and the user agreement. And it so happens that the port is on the hook to provide Hobie operators, if that's the desire of the petroleum users. So we are working with Ronnie's crew. We've had 8 training sessions. We're going to be doing 3 more hands-on, and the port is going to take a leadership role in operating the boat.
Were we operating the Pony previously?
No.
And this is just because of the design of the system?
I
You
suspect.
just said it was too complicated?
I suspect, Chairman, that with the onboarding of the PCT, system has become much more complex. And my reading of the user agreement is the operators have the option to either do it themselves or defer to us. And I think the math has changed with the risk involved with the PCT operations. So now it's easier it's just, I think, a business decision to have the port do that obligation first. And I think we're going to be very good at it. What we've noticed is that we've established, if anybody's interested, standard valve lineups, which have not been a part of the port operations in the past. So we're adopting what's called a ready standby. So there's going to be a valve lineup that's the standard. And if we see something out of position, we'll be able to note it. And it's just, once we have this ready standby valve lineup in place, it's just turning five valves to unload the ship and then one or two valves to strip a line. So it's going to be, I think, a very improved reliability system.
Are we hiring people for this?
We're not. We're trying to do it with existing manpower, and we'll see how that goes.
I'm trying to get with Cheryl, so it's Ronnie, trying to get with Cheryl to see about hiring some other people. So thank you for your request for that.
Oh, as someone who pumped a lot of oil over the years, it makes sense to have somebody with some experience when you start,
No objection.
Other petroleum items, P-Well 2, we had an accident over Christmas. We had berthing line 3 got pulled out. We're working with Udelhoven and operations. We have a procedure to fix it. The lead time for the parts, once you get the purchase order in hand, is going to be 8 to 10 weeks, most likely. So we are looking at a reduced delivery rate until we get that fixed. That's it for my
Any
petroleum.
more good news?
I'll bet Bill, I'll bet you were really looking forward to this.
Coming in here.
I hope to have better news next meeting. Just other smaller topics, port maintenance complex. We're making an attempt to deliver to Ronnie's operations group a sand shelter this summer. There's some challenges with a very aggressive schedule. We're going to do our best to get that up and running, and we're working on that this week to try to make that happen. And lastly, administratively, we're looking at a shift to 5-year term contracts. We think that's a more efficient way to deliver services. So we are pursuing a project management, construction management, electrical engineering, and corrosion protection term contracts. And Mr. Chairman, that's what I have prepared.
Thank you, Bill. I know that wasn't easy. You guys, any of the commissioners have any more questions for Bill or?
I do.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know it's never easy or enjoyable to be tasked with reporting on something that's was beyond your control or not your responsibility to execute. But given that the board is fortunate to have have some solidity and a talented person in your position currently, I guess, could you speculate on, is there anything systemically that could be put in place for, just, let's say, you move on into a different position, hopefully at the port, like 5 years down the road, is there anything that we can do now to put the port in a position where there's some type of control for whoever's in that position later on to be more likely to build those types of specifications and contracts?
Yes, Commissioner Betts, and I would most strongly, I've been talking with the port director about a commissioning program. I think if we have a commissioning program where you get all the parties in the room at the beginning, determine what forms are necessary, confirm that the crane works at -14, confirm that the gearbox works, get everybody in the room, agree on that commissioning process up front, and execute that commissioning process before everybody goes away. I think that's my recommendation.
That's normally in the contract before you sign to build anything. You know.
It should be. There was a commissioning process. It's just, I think, to a large degree outsourced. And it's important to have the owner in that room as well as.
Kind of like the hydroing of the lines was outsourced. Then the valves froze.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Again, I'm sorry to I don't seem like I'm piling on, I'm not, but I think it's important to address things for the long term. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner Betts.
If there's nothing else, we can move on to PAMP. But I don't see John. Who's taking care of this?
I will, I've got John's bullet list. This is Jim. John's actually on an airplane or getting on an airplane to fly down to Fort Campbell meetings. So that's why he's not here today. I may ask Jacobs to help back up some of this. He's got 3 basic areas for a summer project that we're moving forward with. First area you wanted to talk about was the North Extension stabilization. That base project is complete at this point. We are in the process of making the last payment for project closeout, and reconciliation is ongoing. The good news is that MARAD, we spent less money than we had from MARAD. MARAD has agreed to allow us to use the excess funds for the helipad that we're going to be building up on the North Extension this season to replace the area that is going to be a construction site where we normally would have helicopter operations right outside the window. So that's all ongoing. Second big area is our electrical substation. The electrical substation is basically going to be the power source for the new Terminal 1 and the new cranes. We hired a company called EPC to design and build that project, and we expect to break ground. So that is moving forward. Working on the long lead equipment orders now. The site is going to be up on the North Extension, just on the north side of the Hall Road down from Jayberry. So it'll be tucked out of the way. Originally, they were going to put that substation right outside this window in the middle of a cargo yard where it's going to be space constrained and in the way of a lot of truck traffic. And now we're getting it up and out of the way, and it's a far superior site. We've got some ongoing work we're doing with regard to right of way and building the duct bank that's going to bring the electricity from that substation to the dock. That work is all going to be going on this summer also. Third thing, Terminal 1 construction is getting ready to start. I guess you can say it has started. We're staging equipment. We may hear a crane moving snow piles out of the way, or rather, excavator moving snow piles out of the way while we're in this meeting. So next month, we anticipate that we will be starting full-scale construction on T1. There's going to be a lot of disruption around here. Good luck finding parking the next time you have a port commission meeting. Now, we'll have parking spaces, but it's about to get very busy with construction. The first phase of construction is going to be demolition of existing Fuel 1 and Terminal 1 to make room for the new cargo terminal. Miss any? Okay, well, that's Jonathan.
This is gonna be interesting to start demoing POL 1. Not sure we can use PCT.
We can use PCT.
Oh,
PCT will be completely usable.
You said 6 to 8 weeks for the camera.
Without, with the safety observer.
You can use you can use PCT with a safety observer.
I see.
It's not an issue.
I gotta modify the crane.
You can use PCT with the crane as is with a man basket. And the gangway has several challenges. It's going to be different for every vessel. So the main mechanism is likely to be a man basket for, that's what it's been for basically forever at the port. And for some vessels, it's going to continue being that. Just because of our 30-foot tides, it's impossible to build one gangway that's going to work for every vessel that comes to that dock.
Thank you, Jim. John Smith.
Hey, Mr. Commissioner.
Yes.
I'm Hans Newmer, the construction manager for the PAMP.
Jacobs, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, we didn't invite you to introduce yourselves earlier.
Sarah Rolando.
Rolando.
Hi.
Also with Jacobs, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did get the contractor to agree to put off the demo of POL 1 while we get some things solidified. So we actually have a little bit of breathing room in there. They want to go at it in May, but so we did create some space for the port to get the PCT up and running and ease the pain. So.
Good. Well, we'll probably won't take till May to get rid of the ice out there.
Oh, my God. It's bad.
Yeah, and we had that early freezing right in October, so we know frost is over 10 feet deep.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a lot of work to do out there, civil work, so it may even help us push it out even more, so, but we are monitoring that situation.
Thank you.
And to that end, ice has been a greater than normal issue for us this year. And everything from our Christmas Day event when ice basically pushed a barge that was tied up at POL 2, despite, I believe it was 10 lines, the force of the ice still pushed the barge, to Ronnie having to hire tree cutters to come out with a chainsaw to cut ice off in the face of the dock so that the barges can dock properly. Ice has been an ongoing issue this year.
I think that you've just forgotten what ice is like. Ice has been going on for ever at this port.
It absolutely has.
And if those idiots had been on the tug where they were supposed to be, man in their engine, never would have busted off the dock.
Who said that? Ron Ward just said that, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Doing their job.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, having to chop it with chainsaws is a little different for sure. That's something you always have to explain to the captain. Why isn't the ship alongside? Because there's this much ice on the piling. We can't get any closer than this.
It's that
That's
wide.
Anchorage in the winter.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, wait, this is my favorite part. Cheryl, the numbers, Cheryl.
Well, it's, Cheryl Beckham, Port Finance. It's a very, easy report to read and look at. It's just January, so it's, nothing really exciting. Revenues, good. We're good. Everything looks fairly in line, you know, as much as it can. In January, you can see the tonnages, you know, in the months where you don't have a lot of differential in the revenues, you can always read the tonnage report and see that, you know, things are tracking with 25. So we look forward, we're happy about that. Yeah, so it's just really not anything exciting. We don't have any legal payments that we're making yet. We made those last year. So nothing super, haven't sold any equipment, you know, just regular operating revenues for us.
Debt service charges.
It'll continue to get quite large.
I was gonna say it's big.
Well, if you look at the amortization schedule for the bonds, you'll see that, you know, some of the payments are nearly in the out years are going to be nearly double that, 25 million, depending on what Ross does with the rest of the bonds for the
Well,
program.
look at that enormous net income, $39,000.
Yeah. At least it's not red.
Of course, I'd say it's early in the year.
Yep. Okay, we're working on closing 24, the 24 audit is not complete, but we're hoping to have those statements issued by the end of March. So Joy Mariner from BDO was hoping that she would come and give the presentation to the commission when she has 24 and 25 together, if that's, I thought that would probably be fine rather, because we're hoping to have them. So the auditors will come and give you a presentation.
Any questions for Cheryl?
I just asked a quick clarifying questions and stuff.
Absolutely.
I should know this. When you just said 24 and 25, were we caught, was the port caught in the auditing issues? We
So
were.
was it Department of the Municipality, right?
Yeah,
So we're
okay.
able though, so one of the great things about the fact that we have bonds is
Right.
that we have a standalone financial statement that gets done. So our statement is fairly easy to complete and the audit is you know, it's easy for the auditors to look at and the work to get done. So they're always able to issue drafts for
Mhm.
the port ahead of the regular
Okay.
act for the
Okay.
municipality. So you know, we need them for the bond bank. We need them for lots of things. So a lot of times they'll issue ours and then continue on to the regular general government piece. So,
Okay, okay.
They do the same thing with AWU, just like, so some of the
Yeah.
enterprise funds, yeah, we get issued ahead of the general government fund. So, you know, because we, you know, we have the same support staff that helps us caught up
Right.
and all that. But yeah, it's all moving forward.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Programs, policies, security.
So this is Jim Jager reporting on stuff. I guess the first thing you're gonna wanna know about is our funding efforts, with regard to the Port Alaska Modernization Program. The municipality, the administration, and Terry have been aggressively pursuing both state and federal funding. Terry's in Juneau for the second time of this legislative session today. He was in Washington DC last week. He's met with all of the delegation members in Washington plus MARAD officials. We don't have anything firm, but we're getting lots of positive vibration in terms of support for our funding efforts. With regard to our actual funding efforts, the grants that we're pursuing, we are still waiting to hear about our fiscal year 2025 PIDP. That's the Port Infrastructure Development Program that comes through MARAD. That grant application, we had asked for $4.7 million for POL 2 planning for the new fuel terminal. That grant They have not announced who's getting those grants. They've already opened up the 2026 grant application, which typically they do after they've announced the previous years, because a lot of places are going to be basing next year's ask on what they got last year. But at this point, the Washington DC is behind schedule and we're in sit and wait mode. Other grants are our fiscal year 24 EPA grant program, which with $1.9 million is moving forward and we're making good progress on that. We've discussed the 2025 congressionally delegated spending requests that we made to Representative Begich. He included a $1.75 million appropriation in the recently passed Consolidated Appropriations Act. President Trump signed it. So we know we're getting $1.75 million that will go to the electrical substation project. We just haven't been told that yet. So we're waiting to hear about that from Merit. Fiscal year 26 PIDP grant. While they haven't announced last year's, they have opened up this year's. We are pursuing, we're calling it a PAMP, Technical Development Planning request. So basically what we've done is we've taken every project across the entire port, things like storm drains, additional electrical work, the upgrades to the POVI, the valve yard. All of these projects we've taken, we want to get them all to 35% plan so that we're basically ready as grant applications come along, or as we're planning the grants or the projects so that we can coordinate them so that we're not stepping on ourselves with one project getting in the way of another. And we're going for a planning grant to basically coordinate all these different plans. Call it a master plan update if you will. And then we're also waiting for the notice of funding opportunities for the Port Security Grant Program, the new DCIP, the Defense Community Infrastructure Program, the American Marine Highways, and several other programs that we typically keep an eye on. Usually those notice of funding opportunities are out by now. At this point, none of them have made any noises. So again, we're waiting. On the cybersecurity front, biggest thing that you'd probably be interested in, the situation in the Middle East caused Department of War to issue some port security increases. Most of the increases they wanted, we already do because of our facility security plan. We've got a little bit of extra vigilance going on, some extra patrols going on. We still remain at MARSEC level 1, so we're still in our normal procedure. But, you know, that's going on. The other thing is the microgrid and BEST project, the DCIP. We've merged that with the substation project that's going on in the Senate. And that project will also break down. The batteries have been ordered. We're finishing up the final permitting pieces, and we should be breaking ground on that substation. That's what I have reported.
June? Any questions for Jim on the very comprehensive program policy and security report? Hearing none. Update on port intermodal expansion projects litigation.
So
that would be Jim as well.
I can give that update for Terry. The long and short of it is still working its way through the courts. The interesting development is the administration has been making a real push towards settlement. Terry actually met with the MARAD administrator last week. The MARAD administrator is in agreement that it should be settled. We don't know exactly what that means in terms of time or amount, but there's movement and, you know, I guess we see light at the end of the tunnel. Probably the easiest way to say it.
Good news. As long as they don't lowball us.
Well, I can report that the municipality is asking for $400 million.
which is actually, it basically covers the interest and some extra expenses we've had since the original.
Well, and inflation, for how many years has this been going on? Yeah.
So whether, you know, that's not to say we're going to get 400, but that's the number that
Well, it's
dropped on the table.
better to ask for that than less and get less than that.
Yeah.
Goodness, a good target. Okay, asking for. Good. No correspondence received. So we can skip that one. Camp legislative agenda and finance update.
I think I just gave that.
Yeah, you kind of gave it. Summer construction you gave as well.
No. actually,
That's these guys?
I was gonna turn that over to Jacobs.
All right, good.
So I'm going to, before I turn it over to Sarah, share the screen.
We're gonna kind of roll through this. There is quite a few slides and but this is gonna wind up being sort of on the website to look through, and we'll have a place on there where people can ask questions and things like that. So this is kind of like an information, we're gonna roll it out as a webinar to everybody. This is actually the yearly one, but just so everybody understands, every week, every Thursday, we're gonna do another one that just covers the following week. So people know if there's gonna be outages, truck route changes, trestle changes, anything like that. So we're going to monitor all the projects on the port that could interfere with traffic on the land side or marine side.
And that can be accessed on your website?
It's actually on the Muni website.
No, it's on our PAMP website. So what this is this meeting happens tomorrow at 1:00. And it's for all members of the public, but targeted to the port, all port users, so tenants
I'm gonna
and,
try to be at that as well.
okay.
You know.
So we'll get you the.
If you go to the homepage of the website, down in what's new, there's a spot where you can register to participate.
It's the homepage of the port website,
PortofAlaska.com.
not Jacob's Camp website.
That actually, you can get to the Jacobs Camp website from our PortofAlaska.com. But the invite for this webinar is at the top of the what's new at the port area.
Jim, would it be easier if I just forward it to everybody?
You can
in
do
this?
that also.
Okay, I'll just do that. So, yep, and then the weekly meetings haven't yet been scheduled, but we'll get those in the next few weeks,
And-
once construction really ramps up.
And if I may, when he said coordinating all the projects, he meant all of the projects. So we have all the Port of Alaska modernization projects, the T1 construction and the substation being, and the helipad being those three projects. But we're also rebuilding 3 storm drain systems. We're putting up the warm storage facility.
It's on a map in there.
There are a number of not directly related to camp projects that are all having to dance together.
Okay.
And they will be coordinating all of those.
All right. Yeah, so we roll this out, or we have a setup on there for people to ask us questions. Like we said, this is just information, so it's gonna be a webinar. People can't interrupt this. We're just gonna spit the information out. Next one.
Hang on.
Not available. Awesome.
Second. All right.
This is kind of an overall map, kind of lets you match up color number coordinated to what's going on. And we'll continue to use this throughout the construction season.
Oh, can we stay on that for a little bit longer? I barely got time to digest it. All right, construction area.
I guess I can add a little flavor to that. So we were able to let the T1 contractor into their laydown area 1C early. We let them in there on the 5th. And then as of today, we were able to get them started laying out the truck lanes and those things, which is good because Matson's who we're going to affect them there. And we can be done by Saturday and their next ship comes in Sunday. So they have a chance to drive through it or whatever they need to do to help, help educate everybody.
I love this map, by the way. This is great. Thank you.
Work trailers are gonna be right on the dock, huh? At T2, it looks like.
So contractor work trailers are 1C, which is over here in the green.
Oh, no, I was looking at 5C. What is that? Terminal fender work. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. Yeah,
I support that.
not 1C, 5C.
Yeah. And like I said, this will be accessible. It'll be a good one for everybody to kind of, I think, like, yeah, keep it on your desktop even, so.
POL2 improvements.
Yes, Bill Carlson, Mr. Chairman, we are doing several improvements. We're jacketing piles. There's a bunch of structural issues. That includes repairs to berthing line 3, and we're also making berthing line 4 from methanol to distillate.
And we go into each project later on in the presentation. So, yeah.
It's quick before.
It's great. It's a great map.
Yeah.
I want it.
Yeah. So this map
Well,
will
you can
be
print it off the
updated
website.
every week with the specific areas.
Oh, it's sweet. Yeah.
Very good.
And you're gonna email this as a presentation.
Oh, yeah, we can.
Yeah, if you would, because I'll pass it on to the pilot membership.
Well, and I think we've invited them as well.
Yeah, that's gonna be me.
Okay. Perfect.
We're all working. I happen to have a half a day off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next one. PCT, just informational, no changes.
A beautiful facility.
Continuous 1 to 2 terminals, yep. POL2, we're actively working with the contractor and the Corps of Engineers. There was some concern by the field users about dredging. We have that taken care of. And until, we have about a 6-week timeline to make sure the ice gets out, dredge it, survey it, make sure it's what they want before we have to land our first, big vessel there. So we have
Everyone.
a pretty good timeline going on that one. That one's probably the least risk timeline we have. This is what we were talking about. POL1 originally was the contractors as of March 16th, and now we're not going to give it over to them till May 1st.
Somehow that looks on fire. When I first saw that, I thought it was burning. With the smoke and the red.
Yeah.
And think for fuel vessel.
Right, I know.
T1, of course, will be demolished. We get to the actual contractor's slides, which they're very nice. Setting up some models, we'll be able to show some looks at that, and those will be much more interesting, so. It's kind of outlining, what's going on with T2. And where the separation delineations would be. Anything to add to this one? So-
Yeah, I think the big thing is that, so the marine work area is off limits to the vessels. As of, already issues NTP here next week or later this week. So Matson's largest vessel needs, so that there's 100 ship simulation training showed that all the vessels need to stay away from the work area by 100 feet. So Matson's largest vessel basically has issues accessing all of its hatches if it's 100 feet from the work area. And so what we're worked with them is to dock the vessel 50 feet away from the work area. So basically just sliding it over a little bit to the south.
Maintaining 100 feet during landing.
Correct, yeah. So that's all been worked out in training, ship simulation. Oh, no. Anyway, so that's the plan for Matson's largest vessel. And that's the plan for Terminal 2. So biggest changes to Terminal 2, obviously. There's no changes. We just threw in a slide for each of the terminals just for clarity on changes during this. Now the interesting slides.
Yeah. Again, a good overall map kind of showing what the contractor will be doing. That'll be on there. Mainly this phase here is focused on 2026. We'll update it, when we get to 27, so. Construction zone, the blue dotted line are the areas that the contractor will never interfere with. That's at least the plan. And then, we do also, I don't know if we show this in here, but the original design only had 2 trestles through construction for, Matson. And we are working with the contractor to provide 3. So there's always an alternative. So, we do have the 3 worked out for 26. We are working on 27. This one just kind of shows the marine area. The easiest way to move those giant piles, obviously, is to stack them on a barge, bring them over, lift them with the crane and pound them in, not even use this haul area that we have in red. So that's going to be the plan there. We have a long time marine contractor, so they'll be on top of communicating with the pilots and those things like we need to do. So, but we thought this was really good information. So people understood they will be taking barges across there. Just concrete washout zone. Nothing fancy there. This is their little model of what their laydown area is going to look like. South yard, obviously closest to us. And then the beginning of what T1 looks like. I think that's probably, is that about 40 feet? That's about that length right there.
Probably.
That's the,
Where we are.
So this is the area that they have access to right now. So when you go outside, you'll see a bunch of guys out there now.
Yeah, I saw them when we came in.
yeah, it's getting busy. So, okay, next one's good. Note more like the batch plant's gonna have that set up for the deep soil mixing. Pretty strategic thing. And then the lay down site too, that's just an overhead view from the side view we just had. More modeling, a little bit more accuracy of cement plant, things like that.
They want to charge Phillips 5, but then they want to not report it for a year. 5 a year. And they want to charge me $37.50 per quarter.
Don't recognize the voice. Mute all.
Splat.
You can't be.
Teach you to talk on it.
Can't be. We'll take
Put the hand up.
All right, well, that's public comment. We'll ask him to do that.
There you go.
Drive this way back. Yeah, the shot is this mouse is, shall we say, problematic.
Yeah.
We haven't had graphics in a while, which is a treat.
They did a great job. They did a great job
This
for us.
is
We
really
went,
terrific. I
and
was really impressed.
this is our lay down area. Yeah, my previous work, we did a ton of modeling. It seemed to work out best, especially with the military I was working with. So, there's where the ringer crane is gonna be the marine loading zone. That's,
No,
they allowing them to build the pad. They actually built a pad for that and everything. They also have offered that to the port to use if they have something that comes up. Figure out a schedule, not to interfere with their offloading of the piling, of course, but the port's also welcome to use that if we need to. So,
is it called a ringer crane because it sits in a ring?
because they build a ring
Yes.
around it for stability.
Okay.
Yeah. I know, it's a crane.
Well, I know, but to me, I think I understand why they call it a ringer crane.
Yeah. So, Next one.
You understand.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh my God.
Just a few more graphics of what it could look like.
Well, and moving the huge piles.
Yeah, this is a collection of stuff we can use here. I forget how big it was. Does anybody remember how big this thing was? This turned out to be the Don Young Mountain.
North extension material, yeah.
Yeah, but it's all free material for our contractor to use for temporary structures, so we didn't have to haul all that in, which was very good, so.
We had plenty left over.
We did, well, and our calculations are we will use almost all of it, but like 10,000 yards. Temporary, then we'll resalvage some of that.
You need any sheet pile? I think we got some of that.
We sold that.
No, actually, there's not much.
How about toilets? We still got the toilets.
More there.
Are they on, are those on rails? What are they?
I think they're actually a rubber tired.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, that's just the routing. The yellow is just moving.
okay.
Yeah, those are 6-foot diameter, 270-foot piles. Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave them over there and then on the ocean.
Yeah.
Port over.
The goal was to have everything we need to finish here as quick as possible. So by
Right.
27. So. And we're right now we're about halfway done with actual pile fabrication. So we got a good start at everything. It's kind of go through the demo plans here. It'd be really good for you folks to get on there and get this and kind of absorb it a little bit. We give you a pretty good understanding. We obviously worked on this with the contractor for about 8 months since they got the contract in stages and making sure port operations can continue.
This is just another close-up of the batch plan. And so just early activities starting. They'll be in the, on the ground, well, next week and then not in the water till mid-April, right?
Right. Yeah, marine, mid-April.
These are details probably.
Yeah, just simple.
This is.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, that's just,
Yes.
this is kind of the,
Yeah.
this is a mixture of what they're,
This is
Building a wall.
pre-demolition.
There's our footprint,
The
right?
footprint of the old,
Yeah.
yeah, this is what it's like
Transit
now.
There's our old, there's our old footprint.
yeah.
Yeah. They are starting to drive piles using their templates, moving on.
Look like at the end of the summer.
Man hours.
Yeah,
Speaking of, I just want to interrupt one real quickly, just with a little tidbit story here. Speaking of pile driving, the railroad is, somebody's contracted with the railroad for the coastal trail extension. And they're driving piles over there for the bridge work, et cetera. And so, and we're driving them at really interesting hours. It's kind of hard to associate them with tides, but it appears that it's somewhat tide related. But about a month ago, in the middle of a Friday night, Saturday morning at 2:30 a.m., they started driving piles for an hour. And we're all like, they're going, those poor people, because they don't want to be driving piles at that time. And you wonder what on earth happened. They had to be out there. I mean, I even looked at my phone and said, well, what are the tides doing? To figure out what on earth for them to meet their schedule, were they having to drive piles at 2:30 in the morning? And it's really loud. I mean, it's as loud as the pile driving that's in here. And
yeah,
it shows up on my my little seismometer. It's this Caterpillar from 2 a.m. for an hour. Yeah. So, sorry.
we have a noise permit
Yeah.
that limits them from driving pile from
Right.
10 p.m. till 7 AM the next
I
day.
don't think 2:30 AM is included in that. Something must have gone horribly wrong for them to have to be out there.
And we have Beluga observers is again.
Oh, goodness, yes. We have more stations than we've ever had. We have more people involved in, the well watching and, we work very closely with NIMS.
Yeah.
Another one of those people you don't want to get on their bad side, right? So we work very, very diligently with those folks, and pretty much give them every request they have. When it comes to that, our permitting team is very, very good at working with them. I don't think we've ever had a hiccup with them, or yearly reports and monthly reports since I've been here. But there will be, there'll be a lot of, we call them MOMOs, marine mammal.
Observers.
Yeah, observers, and
Maybe there's could be some interdepartmental cooperation that could be the eyes on deck for the gangway placement. Use them for both. Yeah. We got it.
The only point of this, or the other slide, was just to show there will be an extra 150 people here when after the contractor ramps up, so.
That's a lot.
Where are they gonna park?
They're over there. No, they're there
Over
and there.
there and there, yep.
Yeah.
yeah, they're,
Thing on Sunday and Tuesday around here. Yes, it is.
just kind of more schedules, yeah, a little bit more in the detail. Do you want, this is the electrical substation. I think we already discussed that. The biggest challenge I think with this thing is getting this trench duct bank all the way across the port.
Yes.
I just, I have to say, I was trying to make any suggestion I could not have to do that, but this is what we decided on. And then, but one thing is good is we were able to bring the vault where they're gonna meet up. The vault was actually inside of where the T1 construction's going on, which is, I mean, now you're digging a hole in the middle of trying to do this other stuff. So that turned out to be the positive. That was the first thing I liked about it. So we were able to move the vault. It'll be right out here by the fence outside of this building now, which will be the demarcation zone for both of those folks to meet up. So we were able to get those into a neutral spot. And the real thing about that is people have different work they have to do coming from each side to meet our commissioning timelines and to get to the end. So we're ready for the cranes or Matson to offload them. So that's kind of one of the big ones we're watching as well. Obviously commissioning is huge for us in construction. So.
This is Steph. I've got another quick question. I can't remember, are there any overhead lines here in the port? I'm trying to remember.
Not in this area, it's all.
Okay, great. Because I was thinking if there were, this would be a good time to bury them.
So our overhead lines in along the axis, the entry road. So they
Okay,
come along
yeah.
there and then they go under.
Yeah, because that's.
The crane bus, that's really only over the docks.
Yeah.
Just more information. This is a little bit on the helipad that Jim was referring to earlier. Yeah, it's all the way at the end, yeah.
What is APC stand? What is that? APC
That's
one?
probably the approach zone for the helicopter.
Okay, all right, yeah.
And this is staff with one more comment. The primary users of the helipad are, it's going to be the Department of Defense, right? For public relations, you might want to consider calling it the Department of Defense helipad, something like that, so people don't think.
It's a cargo yard that will be used for helicopters because of the way the funding's coming. We're emphasizing the helipad.
Okay, well, the only reason I'm saying that, the reason I'm saying about the name of the helipad is people would say the port's putting in a helipad. What do they need a helipad for? Again, given all of the history, that's where this is coming from, is that it might be worthwhile to consider putting some sort of qualifier in front of the word helipad that indicates that it's not for the the rich executives at the port.
Yeah, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Private Helen.
We can add a bullet to this slide too, just to clarify.
Yeah, that's just, because when it came up in the, like, the community council meeting, is when they said, yeah, and the helipad's gonna go over there, and you could hear everybody in the room go, helipad, and it wasn't like, oh, helipad. It was like, well, what are they doing putting a helipad in? So, and I'm sure others would react the same way.
The real challenge is that they need to land the helicopters on a paved area.
Yes.
When they bring them in, the road has to be paved as opposed to being a pothole gravel road.
Right, it needs to be, yeah,
So that's what we're doing. They had a paved area here that we're taking up with a construction site. We're giving them a paved area in another.
giving them a paved area, yeah.
But most of the time, we have helicopters here, 6 days of the year?
Oh, I know.
So most of the time it will be used for all manner of other cargo related purposes.
Yeah.
So that asphalt is designed actually to support cargo activity. Storm drain, this is, as Jim was mentioning too, this is Bill's, area, but we are keeping all these things matched up to make sure, seeing we're gonna be the biggest users of the port over the next 5 years. So we're gonna help coordinate all this stuff so people understand. About OV. Get back to the PO2, like they're saying, just a few more slides there, Commissioner, like you said.
That's all right.
Yeah, vendor work that, yeah. Sure. Sprung structure.
A warm storage facility.
And did you want to talk a little?
Yeah, so this is just, Terry asked us to really amp up our communications on the website, so we're doing that, so.
Good.
Once you'll see in the so the Port of Alaska Modernization Program is accessed off of the main Port of Alaska website. And so now we've added a new tab. You can see it by the blue arrow of users, and that's where this information will be saved. So in addition, Eric Adams, our program manager, does a bi-weekly meeting for the users, or for the tenants, and those PowerPoints are saved there as well. So you'll see a lot more information on that tab by the end of the summer. It'll be huge.
No, I could go to that to register for the meeting tomorrow.
I'm just gonna send it to you.
Yes,
you could.
I mean, yeah, you can.
But send it to me, please.
Yeah. It's just easiest at this point in the day to send it to. And then this is just talking about these weekly construction update meetings. So Hans is gonna put together bullets or just, what each contractor's doing for the week. We'll put that on that map that you guys saw. A little bit more specificity as to where it's gonna be using our color coded system. And then we're gonna just have what our public relation person will go over that every week in a 10-minute webinar. And then we'll put that PowerPoint, the map up on the user website as soon as we can.
And the other thing is we'll also have a mailing list of everybody, and we're gonna email it to them as well. So we're trying to really over communicate the best we can what's gonna be going on, and hopefully avoid any major conflicts with port operations.
That's good. Better to over communicate.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So,
Avoid surprises.
All right, and then we just wanted just a reminder that all the live schedule information for all the vests is on the port website, so that's where it's at. That's the last slide that we've got for PAM communication, and then one more, just slides of communication. We just wanted to, as we move into construction, and there's gonna be a lot of issues that everyone knows, we just wanted to say how we communicate. You wanna take that slide?
yeah, so the main thing is obviously Sunday ship day, somebody's moving around, something happens, we don't know what's gonna happen. We have our inspectors will be in direct contact with like Manson's foreman of the day or whoever. Some of those guys work 7 days on, 7 days off. So we were working very diligently at having that complete communication system with the actually like boots on the ground type guys out in the field. So they don't have to wait for somebody to make a decision. They can fix the problem and keep rolling, and then we can deal with the problem later. So that was one of the main things I wanted to get up and going, that those guys in the field had the ability to, make the port keep working.
That's all we have.
Is that you? Are you Hans?
I'm Hans, yes, sir.
It's Sarah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. Thank you. Hans, it's Sarah.
Do you have business cards by any chance?
If you give out business cards, people contact you. We do, I didn't think to bring it here, but,
We can
We-
send you, I can send you both of our information.
yeah,
That'd be
sure.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much. Any questions for Jacobs from the commissioners?
Excellent presentation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And, always feel free to reach out to us. I don't have a problem answering any questions, so.
Question A is, so you're gonna deliver updates on a weekly basis?
Yep. Starting about the third week of March, once construction
Come
gets.
to us by email.
Although they're having a webinar.
So webinar Thursday afternoons, you can sign up for it,
Good.
but it'll also be put on the website. So if you miss one, you could always just go see the map and the information from there.
Good to know.
Heidi, you're good, Jim. We've got
Thank you.
Jet,
Yeah.
is there anyone?
Helicopter, they've got to go.
Yeah.
Gotta go test out that
Yeah.
Any members of the public wishing to give public comment should raise their hand in the Teams meeting there, so we know who you are. I'll give you a minute here to participate, and then we'll move on. Figure out where it is. Extraordinary long meeting today. So hearing or seeing no hands raised, of course, everybody's muted, so we won't unmute unless we see a raised hand. Don't see one, so we can move on. No public comments. Port director's closing comments. No comments. Thank you, Jim. Commissioners' comments. Let's go around the horn. Vice Chair Thompson.
Well, that was probably one of the best explanations I've seen of the project. It'll, a good overview. And, it'll be interesting to follow. So it
Much
sounds
better than
like,
the
sounds like it's in,
outdated poster that we've been looking at for years.
sounds like it's in very capable hands.
Okay. Simon?
Echo what Abe's had to say. It looks like it's really well planned. That's going to be a busy.
It'll be an interesting summer.
Yeah, very.
Cruise ships and ships in here. This, and none of the diagrams showed anything offshore. Just that big yellow zone. You're not gonna have it here. But we'll see. Peggy?
No, excellent.
I have nothing to.
I agree. I appreciate the transparency around the project schedule and details, and making that publicly available. And then, welcome Shane, great to have you on board.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Stephanie, any other stories you want to share?
No, I just thought
Life
you all
on
would,
Government Hill?
I thought you all would appreciate the pile driving. But, no, terrific, meeting and just love that presentation. I'm with you, Abe. That's the Abe, this is the clearest presentation I've seen on it.
Ever.
Right, I'm just going.
Well, now you can go to the website, you can see it.
Other than
you can print it
Cheryl's,
out.
of course.
Well, right, Cheryl, right.
You just liked all the color.
That was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Any ideas on the next meeting? We probably should just check Terry's schedule and see
Yeah.
when he might be available.
Let's do that.
Is he laughing?
Right.
You
He's not.
don't know. So,
He doesn't have any other trips
well,
planned.
we could set the date, and then if something comes up, we can do, we can
Right.
regroup later.
So what do you want to do?
Every other month, right? I mean, we don't need to do it every month.
May.
A lot of control there. We had to postpone already, so. I mean, they're gonna be doing this in April. Can we try May? Cause that's a little bit
Yeah.
before we get so busy in the summer.
Yeah, I think May is.
There's a lot of snow.
Hopefully the ice will be gone by then.
I know.
I can't do the sixth, but
You can't do the
I
sixth.
can't do the sixth, but the others.
I would prefer May the 20th or 27th.
I'm with.
I can't do the 27th. I can do the 20th.
20th.
I can do the 20th.
Peggy? Mike, 20th work?
Just look here.
Yeah. May 20th?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I could do the 20th also. I could not do the next week either.
20th looks good.
Okay.
All right, let's put it in. 20th. If there's no other business, I would entertain the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Oh, second.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we're adjourned.
That's harsh.
Little too.
Like, whoa.
Just excited to be done. Go home and memorize this finance report.
Yeah, it's a short one. You could